As the clock strikes 7, the vibes alive. Inner circles here, where voices thrive. Turn on your screens, let the magic unfold. Listening and healing as stories are told. Come one, come all, this is your time. No topics too tough, just heed the call. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all, let's lift every voice. Inner Circle podcast where hearts unite. Sharing our truths, bringing hope to the light. Community strong, we're never alone. Together as one, we've created a home. With laughter and love, we break down the walls. No topics too tough, just heed the call. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all, let's lift every voice. So join the...
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Thursday edition of the Inner Circle podcast. Tonight, we are talking about strengthening families in uncertain times, why community resources matter. These are scary times right now, especially in Minnesota. Minnesota, we are at the front line to everything that is going on when it comes to immigration. So folks are afraid to come outside. There's full insecurity, there's a lot of stuff going on. And the Inner Circle podcast, in conjunction with the Minnesota Department of Children, Youth, and Families, it's going to be hosting a Family Wellbeing Community Resource Day this Saturday from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. I'm going to be distributing food. So tonight, we are here to talk about that event. My co-host, Ms. B, and I, we are here. I'm your host, Abe Kumara. Ms. B, welcome to the show.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ms. B, and I feel blessed to be right here this moment, this minute.
Yeah.
How's your week been?
Man, it's been crazy. You know, there's so much going on, right? With two girls, driving them around all day. Wake up in the morning before I start work, I have to drop my kids off. You know, one to the bus stop and then the other one to school. And then work. Inner Circle podcast, Inner Circle. So there's so much been going on, you know. But I'm blessed though. You know, I'm grateful. It's been my week is always hectic and busy, but I'm blessed too. I can't complain. You know, at least I'm being haunted by ICE, but in another way, right? As an immigrant, I feel we are all being haunted, but I've not been physically haunted. I've not been physically haunted by ICE, you know. But so many people are in that situation, especially in the heart of the city, you know, South Minneapolis, St. Paul, and other areas of the suburb, you know. But I'm blessed, and I can't complain in these times where immigrants are under the spotlight constantly. You know, I'm blessed. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, in the midst of the storm, there were some good things that happened this week. You know, I talked about, of course, the work that I do in ICE being, you know, around. But it was great. You know, yesterday evening, we had a graduating class of entrepreneurs who have gone through a 12-week session of, you know, starting and growing their business. And so it was great and refreshing to be in community with them last night. They were all excited to be getting through the program, celebrating the knowledge that they've gained from attending the entrepreneur training program. Just excited about the network of different business owners that they've met and now have to add to their network. Just that in the midst of all this that is happening, people are still optimistic about starting a business, right? Or if they're an existing business owner growing their business. And so that was great. And then I left from there and I went to shout out to Duke's on 7th. It's in Hopkins. Nice restaurant, has a great concept. They have outdoor igloos that you can have dinner in. with Christmas lighting inside, and it's heated. And so it was a different experience. Went to a new spot and got a different experience. Went there for a friend's birthday dinner last night, and got to meet different people. And so, yeah, in the midst of the storm, there were some good things that happened this week, and I was excited about that.
Well, that's great. That's great to hear, right? It feels like, when you listen to the news, social media, especially in our community, right? There's no day you won't hear about all of the stress that families are under. The community is under the intense pressure the community is under. Having 3 to 4 thousand ICE officers in the metro, when it's bigger than the entire police force of the 7 county metro. It's stressful, it's scary, but in the midst of that, I think like the resilience of Minnesota and Minnesotans has shown to the world that I hear someone saying today, if you want to attack Minnesota, don't do it in the dead of winter, right? January, February, right? Because we are built tough, right? People think we are soft, but we are built tough. I think ICE came at the wrong time, but I think there's still a lot of optimism, right? As I've always said, in every metric you can measure, right? Minnesota is always in the top 5. It's like the fact that people even think that Minnesota is this worst place. And sometimes I'm even frustrated by my Republican colleague who said, "Oh yeah, crime, crime, crime. Oh, illegal immigrants, crime." And I want to ask them, show me one illegal immigrant or immigrant who committed a crime in Minneapolis recently. You know what I mean? And things like that, right? Because I think no matter your what side of political divide you are on, right? When it comes to speaking, what about your state, no matter who's in charge, right? I might not agree with teamwork, policy, or politics. But Minnesota is a great state. I'm proud of being Minnesotan. I wasn't born here, but I was pretty much raised here. I'm raising my family here and stuff. I can't trade anywhere for this place, despite all of the negativity about the state and about everything going on right now. But there's still optimism in it. In the state. So
Yeah, talking to folks today, the Senate committee had a meeting to come up with a response to how community is being impacted, especially families and businesses around a housing moratorium and business support. And you had folks who were talking about how we need to protect ICE. And if people would just let ICE in, then their doors wouldn't have to be, broken down. These are Senate elected officials are speaking in this nature and condoning the behavior of ICE agents. And, in a space where we should have been listening to community voices and those most impacted, that other people showing up and guessing and making assumptions on their behalf. But shout out to all the community organizations that were able to organize and show up today and provide testimony. I don't know what came out of that conversation, if anything's going to be really done on their end. But I'm glad that, like you said, communities being resilient, organizations are stepping up and carrying the weight. Even if our elected officials don't know how to stand up or don't have the courage right now to show up in the meeting.
Well, I think, before we get into the meat of that, I think there's a wake up call for all immigrants, right? The reason some of the elected officials are saying what they are saying because they don't know if someone is saying, maybe I as an immigrant, I should let ICE in so that my door won't be broken. You know what I mean? It's like I'm saying that okay, maybe because he doesn't consider me his constituent, right? And things like that. So I think there's a wake up call to all immigrants. I've said this many times on the Inner Circle podcast. Said that we gotta be politically engaged, right? Like some of these folks, if we are not politically engaged, the fact that, and I said this on the show the other night, we for immigration to be a cultural issue, a cultural world issue, right? It's like I'm shocked, I'm surprised at that because I feel like each side of Democrats have their side, Republic is like immigrants are pretty much being used as a political pawn. And that is a wake up call to all of us immigrants. Say, oh, whoa, because if you are just labeling everyone as, criminals and stuff, because I don't think there's any differentiation or demarcation, right? They say, okay, there's these folks who are doing well, and then, we all know America is a country of laws. Anyone that breaks the law here is arrested, whether you are illegal or legal immigrants or U.S. born citizen or white or black, and everybody we know. So it's like, but to just label, criminal illegal aliens without even there's no data to support some of these things and stuff like that. So I think, but when politicians are using it as a pawn, it's a wake-up call to all of us to be politically engaged. Other than that, we won't have these. I mean, we won't have the moment we have right now because like no one is hearing our stories. And I think the uniqueness about Inner Circle podcast that we have decided to intentionally, amplify, empower and elevate our own voices because no one's going to do that for us, right? No one's going to. The only reason why you see the national press here because two white folks were killed. Honestly, that's the only way to me. You see the national press here. They are not here because of the immigration crackdown. They were, the CNN, the BBC, the Associated Press, the Reuters, all of them.
Anderson Cooper is in town. I don't know if he's still there.
Yeah, because two white folks were killed.
Yeah.
Really immigrants and stuff like that. No one was going to pay attention. Glad I've said this. I mean, I said this other night. You guys were laughing. I said this thing is 99.9% white. So you come here to do immigration crackdown. You go to encounter your own white folks, and that's what happened. And that's what has happened.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of the demographics here, what you're saying is that we don't have that large of an immigrant population compared to other states. If that was the case, if this was the goal, if this is the agenda, Minnesota is your low-hanging fruit, basically. That's
go to Texas. Go to Texas. Go to Florida. Go to Georgia. These places have more immigrants than anywhere else in this country. So why are you coming to Minnesota with 130,000 immigrants? 130,000 illegal immigrants, according to them, illegal immigrants. But I don't even believe that number, though.
I mean, they might be here in our state in a larger number, but the thing is, I'm hearing they're everywhere.
As I just said, Texas, according to government data, 5 million illegal immigrants in Texas. Why don't you go there?
No, I'm saying ICE is everywhere.
Oh yeah. No, but this is the epicenter right now, right? There are 3,000 to 4,000 ICE agents here. There's no need to send 3,000 to 4,000 ICE agents for the kind of number of illegal immigrants, quote unquote illegal immigrants we have here. So, but anyways, folks, you can join the conversation tonight, by putting a comment in the chat. Or call our number 952-594-5154. Please follow the Inner Circle Podcast on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, X, Twitter, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Instagram, LinkedIn, everywhere. We try to have these conversations. But Ms. B, this Family Wellbeing Community Resource Day. Right? One of the things, as I said, I love about Minnesota, that in spite of everything that's going on, right, the state is still want to take care of its own, right, take care of its residents and stuff like that. So the Minnesota Department of Children, Youth, and Families, partner with Inner Circle to, feed people in our community, right, to share food to those that are afraid to come out. I know ASO is going to be there. ASO is a partner there as well. Medica, shout out to Medica. Medica is a partner in this as well, right? It's like, I said, that's the thing I love about Minnesota. I mean, these things, the community come together, support one another, and we're going to be distributing food this Saturday. Go ahead.
I hope people, so here's the thing. If you are somebody who is out there grocery shopping for people or, helping to get things for folks that are scared to come out and shelter in place, this is where you need to be on Saturday.
Yeah.
Come out, bring your friends, bring the rest of your neighbors who are trying to help out. And I'll share it in the different chat groups as well and say, here's an opportunity for those who want to volunteer their time and be able to come and pick up food or groceries from your neighbors who are sheltering in place because they're scared to go out. Saturday from noon to 4, this is a great opportunity to come out at Discover Church in Brooklyn Park and support and be there, right? And there'll be other things that are organizations will be there tabling. There'll be other things there too that you can grab information for people and take back, right?
Yeah.
This is not an event just for people that we're hoping for only the people that need the food to show up. We want everybody to show up, right? Because you can get information. Again, you can pick up food on behalf of the people and share it with them. Friday again is a National Day of Action.
Okay.
Work, no school, no spending money. And so what I would say, if you're at home and you can take it upon yourself, go to your neighbors, check in on them, see what they need, and then Saturday, come see us to pick up some food for them.
Definitely, definitely. And to your point, where a lot of families are under stress, under pressure, economic stress, food insecurity. Food insecurity is a real thing right now in Minnesota. A lot of the communities gathering, as you said, to some. There are a lot of folks that further come outside. I heard about Sudanese family today, where they are legally in the United States on a refugee program, but ICE have shown up to their house for the last, like on 2 occasions. So the entire family are further come outside. It is folks, neighbors, friends, that doing grocery shopping on their behalf. So to your point, if you are in the community, helping other folks, helping take food to people, we encourage you to show up again on Saturday, January 31st from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Miss BC at Discovery Church off of 252, right, in Brooklyn Park, in the northwest suburb, wherever you are, right, if you can make it to the northwest suburb, Brooklyn Park, we encourage you to actually show up. That's what these kind of events are for. It's not only because like those are actually needed, right? They might be stuck inside, they are afraid to come outside. To your point, right? They are afraid to come outside. So we need community members to come in, to show up, so we can, and I think the whole ICE operation is meant to create fear. We should be we should actually bound together, come together, and make sure that that we should have one, especially we the immigrant. We are the one most impacted by this. I'm glad, like ASO is part of this, it's an immigrant organization, Cycle Podcast and stuff like Cycle, not Cycle Podcast. Cycle is part of this as an immigrant run organization. Our immigrant community, we need to come together and show up and say, hey man, we need to help one another. We need to help the community because we have been heavily impacted by everything that's going on in Minnesota over the last almost 2 months now.
Exactly. I want to take this time to continue to speak to people and say, a little goes a long way. I saw on Instagram, I think it was last night, where Kerry Washington, the actress Kerry Washington, was really using her social media page platform to plead with people to support the state of Minnesota, which she doesn't live here. But, right now Minnesota again is on the national stage and the global stage because of what's going on here in the state. And, it motivated me to say, I myself, with everything that I'm doing, I'm just working with who's been coming at me. But what about the people who have yet to come to me to offer their services and say, let me reach out to them as well, because a little goes a long way. Whichever way you can volunteer your time in whatever capacity you have right now is very, very important to supporting our community here in these next coming days and weeks, and hopefully not months. Right? And I'm pleading for you to show up in whatever way you can. If not Saturday, just local food shelters to support in packing food. We are looking for people on Saturday, January 31st, to show up, to pack the foods, help distribute the foods, and people who need to show up, right? And when you come yourself, hopefully you check on your neighbor to see if they want to come, that you can pick up for all of you, right? So, go and support and be in community with others and support community by picking up groceries for them, or you yourself, if you feel safe, come and pick them up.
Okay. Well, folks, tonight we are discussing a family resource that is coming up on Saturday, January 31st. Cycle, in conjunction with the Minnesota Department of Children, Youth and Families, ASA and Medica, sponsoring a family resource day where we'll be distributing food, right? What these organizations will be distributing food to the community So as Ms. B said, I would encourage you to come out if you are local to Minnesota. If you're out of state and you know folks that are in Minnesota, I don't think for all the others that have documents, man. I think is that we should come out and show us like, hey, if they arrest us, make sure you have a camera on and say, hey, man, I have my documents here and here am I, right? It's like the more we need to show them, right? I don't think we should stay in our various homes, right? I understand for those who are still going through the legal process, right, to obtain their documents. I understand the fear in those folks to stay in. But man, if you're a U.S. citizen, right, if you have copy of your documents, come out, come out. We should not give in to fear, right? And that's what these folks want us to do. The immigrant community, we should give in to fear. We should not show up. So show up, as Ms. B said, to package check on your neighbors, tomorrow, Saturday morning, and then show up. There's going to be a lot of food, great food, local to our communities. Want to give her as much as possible, right? Want to give her everything, because there's serious need out there. I mean, everywhere you hear that, a lot of there are churches doing it, there are organizations doing it. There are people who have been galvanized to do this. So we want to encourage everyone. It's we're calling it a Family Wellbeing and Community Resource Day. As Ms. B said, it's not going to be the full. Medica is going to be there sharing information about, Medica is a health insurance company. They're going to be taking at this event, telling folks about, how they can, the kind of resources, in terms of health. Because when you look at the whole thing, right, it's not only like the full insecurity. I mean, our mental health is being impacted, right? It's like our kids' mental health is being impacted, right? Our kids are hearing about folks getting shot, folks getting raided. Every child right now is on social media, basically the same thing you are saying. Your kids are seeing it, so it's a scary time right now in our community. You're on mute, Ms. B.
Yeah, exactly. In the midst of the storm, there has been a lot of storms this week, a lot of storms. And I saw how much fear it hit me this morning when I was at the office. Folks came looking for the food shelf. Grown men, I could tell that they were Latino, were basically disguised and in a car together, and they had all gotten down to come to my office to get food, but they mistaken my office for the food shelf, Cappy.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have a system now. The very first door, when you open it, it chimes, but you can't get in through the second door, which is a safety mechanism we put in place for community and our staff. And so when I heard it, I went running because the rest of the staff was out today. It was just me and another staff member. 3 of us was in the office. And so I went running. I was the first one in early in the morning, like sharp 9 a.m. I went running to the door to make sure that, whoever it is, I was going to be able to help them. And he was, he was kind of, still lingering. I offered him to come in the office and, let me call Cappy. He's like, oh, we're looking for Cappy at the food shop. I was like, oh, they're right down here. Before you get to the end of the block, you will see them. Before you get to the restaurant, the Mexican restaurant, you'll see them. But come inside, it's cold. Let me call them because I have Cappy's phone number.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, you sure I can come in? That's okay. And he was very hesitant, like fearful.
Mm-hmm.
Coming into my space because he had an agenda. I'm supposed to go to Cappy, I'm supposed to get food from Cappy, and possibly most likely go back home and get off these streets.
Yeah.
4 of them, were together to do that. I mean, they had well bundled up and covered up. They had their backpacks on their backs.
Mm-hmm.
They were all in the car, full. It was not an SUV. It was like a sedan car. So it was about 4 or 5 of them packed in the car. And when I went to grab my phone, by the time I went to grab my phone, they had all got in the car and pulled off. And I was like, wow, that is the level of fear that is in people right now. Like, I need to make it back to my family type of fear. Let me stick to the plan. Thank you for the information you've given me, but that's enough help I'm going to get from you. I'm going to go where I need to go.
Yeah. I mean, folks don't want to linger somewhere where they don't feel safe, where they don't know who they are interacting with, because who you don't even know is like I mean, a lot of folks, they are right? They are suspicious. Maybe folks might be snitching on them. And,
Yep.
you don't know who's snitching. You don't know who's telling on who. And that's, it's natural. All right. Those are natural human tendencies, right? Human beings, that's our natural tendency. Even in the Lebanon community, I've heard folks are calling acts on one another. I'm shocked. I say, really? I mean, it's like, how can you be that cruel, right? Is that you will hit someone so much and get ICE involved. I don't think we should go that route, but those are natural ICE tendencies, right? So they are concrete fear in the community,
Yeah.
and folks don't want to come out. So for those of you who can afford to come out, who can afford to leave your house, and you have your neighbors, that are afraid to come out, you can come out on Saturday to help them, grab some food, right? And this event is open to the entire community. It's open to everyone, to immigrants, refugees, family across the Twin Cities, African immigrant household, folks in Broken Park, Broken Center, Maple Grove, Crystal, the entire Nova suburbs, right? If you are in St. Micah, wherever you are, we encourage you to come out. It's everyone. I mean, even folks that have full-time jobs, they are struggling to feed their family because number one, we already been facing inflation, and then now ICE come further in the picture. ICE come further in the picture and just making our situation in Minnesota worse. So there's serious food scarcity in the community. So we encourage everyone to come out. All community members are welcome. Folks in, church members. I know we have spread this flyer around churches, around the community. So man, come out, and then there are going to be other resources there, right? That's what we're calling Family Wellbeing and Community Resource Day. So we are encouraging everyone to please come out and let us gather together and support one another. Let us gather as a community to really, really be there for one another, because there's fear. There's fear, right? There's fear in the community. And these are times that we need to help one another to be our brother's keeper. And that's what we are doing, right? This event or this program on Saturday is in partnership with Minnesota Department of Children, Youth, and Families. Also, Medica, the insurance company that is based right here in Minnesota, in Minnetonka, and Acer, and stuff like that. So, and Inner Cycle, the 501c3 organization, all local to Minnesota here. Right? We are doing our best to feed our community, because we have 3,000 to 4,000 or 5,000 ICE agents roaming our streets. Folks are afraid to come out, and that's why we're having a day like a Family Wellbeing and Community Resource Day to distribute food to those that are in need.
Yeah. And I think, besides the fact that coming on Saturday, you'll be able to get food, getting information, because there is fear that your neighbors are being taken and nobody knows, right? I think back to the information that was left on a car, and it troubles me. I don't know when I'm going to be able to move on from it, but that we didn't get that information in a timely fashion to understand that this person was detained and they needed help, and we weren't able to get them that help in a timely manner. They have now since been deported out of the country. And so, that continues to trouble me. And so that's why I think coming out Saturday, folks, if you can, is going to be important, so that you can be equipped with the right information. Like, there are a lot of organizations that have logistics to be able to give you support, to help you with legal, to help you with groceries, help you with food. And I think coming to an event like this it's a great avenue to be able to get access to that information. Because sitting at home, you're not going to get access to that information. We don't, community organizations don't do commercials. We don't do, TV. We don't do major marketing, honestly. It's literally depending on, at this point, word of mouth, maybe social media, and to get this information. And so I think when you use events like what's happening on Saturday as an opportunity to come out, you're going to be able to get this real-time information, up-to-date information, and also food that you can give out to for yourselves and give out to your family members. So I can't stress this enough. Come out Saturday.
Yeah. Come out. I mean, come out Saturday, right? And when you just sit at home watching TV, it's depressing, right? Come out and social, not so much socialize, but get, as Ms. B said, right? Get some important information from the community. Again, this event and this program is being brought to you by the Minnesota Department of Children, Youth, and Families, Medica, it's an inner cycle. Right? We're going to be distributing food to the community. We're going to be there's going to be a lot of community resources there. And one of the things we want to stress, I know folks that even folks with documents, folks with U.S. citizens prefer to come out because it's just going to be a safe space. Right? Even I myself have said it. I don't want to encounter ICE. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. But that can't stop me, right? That shouldn't stop me from going out. But it is going to be a safe space. It's going to be in a church, right? Discover Church, shout out to them. They have given us this space to use it. Because, I mean, that's the thing I love about Minnesota, right? The community is coming together. Discover Church has partnered with us as well. Shout out to them to give us that space, for this event to take place. So it's going to be at a church. Come, man. I think God is going to protect us in that space, right? So is that we're going to be well protected. I don't think any ex folks, are going to show up. And I'm encouraged by the new person that is heading the administration initiative here in Minnesota. He's saying that whole street, to be internet going from place to place, but they're going to, move away from that. Hopefully, right, that can be implemented. That they shouldn't be, just roaming our streets, hunting down immigrants. I hope they can change from that. But this is going to be a very, very safe space. We hope you can come out, and, meet your fellow community members, meet what it is. Maybe you can even, you will learn, how can we all be involved one way or another. And, these are times, right? We shouldn't just sit and say, oh, it's like, shout out to all of our Caucasian friends, and neighbors that are standing up for us. But I think there's a time we as immigrants we need to even step up for one another. Right? We shouldn't sit back and say other people are always going to be pleading our case. Because as Ms. B said earlier, other people think, right, other elected officials believe that we are not their constituent because we are not voting. If I live in Maple Grove, I don't participate, I don't in my civic, stuff, right? The media is going to think I'm not his constituent. So when he's speaking, he's going to speak for those who he sees at his city council meetings, who he see voting and stuff like that taking part. So this is a moment that we all need to come together to really become active. I think if there's anything about this immigration surge that is happening, this metro surge that is happening in Minnesota, the immigration rates that's happening around the country, if there's any lesson we should learn, it is time for us to step up and be there for one another and support one another and be engaged politically, civically, however way we need to do it, we need to do that.
I totally agree. Talking about Maple Grove, I want to believe it was probably a year or two ago. We contacted Maple Grove about something with the African immigrant community. It was like, oh, we don't have that population here in our city.
Because, right, and let me just say that, right, they are here, but they are not getting involved. They are not getting
involved. They're running for office. There's Samba. He's running for office right now. And I just heard from a friend of mine, I'm not sure when she's going to launch, but she's running for office in Maple Grove. And so I'm going to introduce you to her. Hopefully you can support her campaign, get out there in Maple Grove and knock some doors and be active.
Well, first of all, she needs to come here. We are encouraging, let me just stop you there. Right? We are encouraging all those in Minnesota that are running for immigrants that are running for local office. Come on the Inner Circle podcast. Right, and tell us, hey man, I'm not just gonna support anyone body. I need to know what it is that you're trying to do. Right? So come on the Inner Circle podcast. I'm encouraging you, if you are running for political office, come on the Inner Circle podcast and tell the community what you are doing. It's the only platform that is focused on immigrant issues, right? Diaspora, right here in America. So you're running for office, come here on the Inner Circle podcast and tell the community what it is that you are running for, what's your platform, how are you planning to help the community. The reason I say that, Ms. B, right, I saw something on social media that said, it's time for librarians to have representation, right? Something about Broken Park, librarians don't have representation. But well, look, shout out to my girl Huda. She's going to be at this program on Saturday. Librarians don't every time we invite Huda on this platform, she's willing to come on. Every other elected officials we invite on this platform, they are willing to come on, right? From other nationalities, from other backgrounds. You invite Liberians on here, they don't, it's like why am I, why should I come? Then you want the community to support you, right? That's my thing, right? You want the community to support you. How is that going to be possible? Come and tell us what it is. Is that you just want to keep your own little cycle. You don't want to get outside of it, and you think that you're going to be elected. You got to broaden your campaign. You got to be able to reach out to the community and beyond the community.
Yeah. So we have some folks running. I'm going to drop some names real quick. Huda Hitsley is running for office. Bernice Cooper is running for office. Nehemiah Garley is running for office. Yakasa Wade is running for office. Let me see if I'm forgetting anybody. Yeah, we have a good group of folks that are running for office. And at some point, they will all be on the show to talk about their candidacy.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking of them, right? Anyone, Bernice, shout out to Bernice. She's been here. First, I hope she can be at this event on Saturday. She can come out. She's a great community resource. Shout out to her. I hope she can, get on the Broken Path City Council. She's those are the kind of people we need, right? It's like if you say like Liberians, I want Liberians to represent us. Those are the kind of folks I hope they can represent us. But Mary asking, are you going to start ICE totally or after? Well, we are not. We are like there's going to be no. We're going to try not to have law enforcement in it. That's why we are not even like people. We are afraid. Oh yeah, maybe we should work with the Broken Path police or something like that. We are. Not, we don't want. Hopefully, it's going to be in the church. We are not. We cannot. The
churches are safe space, Mary, and we can ask them to leave the parking lot.
Exactly, but and the other thing, though, we should know that we cannot impede law enforcement, especially federal law enforcement action, right? But so we just, as I say, if you have your documents, man, come out. Other folks that are still going through that process, come out and take food for your neighbors, right? If you are a U.S. citizen, you are a green card holder, make sure you have a copy of your documents. We have had. The ACLU guy that was here the other day talk about it, right? So long you're carrying your copies of your documents, most likely, I don't think, if an ICE officer detain you, they are in the wrong, basically, they are in the wrong. So we shouldn't give in to this fear. Honestly, I know we have seen a lot of stuff on social media. And then, the lawyers, Minnesota court system and the lawyers, immigration, and the court system is overwhelmed because as soon as you grab you the next minute, in an hour or two, you're on a flight to Texas, to Oklahoma or to New Orleans, right? Scary, but equally so, we should not be afraid to gather. We should not be afraid to leave our homes because that is what, maybe that's their goal, to put fear in us. To me, that's how I see this thing, right? That's the goal, to put fear in us, to say, oh yeah, we cannot do something like this to support our community. Right? We cannot have a family, well-being community resource there because those are the kind of, they want to put fear in us.
I'm just excited about the fact that we're going to be distributing food. And we're distributing food in a timely manner, right? When people really need it. And so if it's not you, send your neighbor, send the one person in the house that's safe. Ask your church members to come and get you food. Call on your people that you trust to support you, that you feel comfortable with. And what I want people to do, if you're sheltering in place, please do find people you can trust. Call community organizations. No community organization is reporting you to ICE. No community organization will put you in a place of danger. I can say that for a fact. What I know that the community organization will help you to do is, if you can't come get this food, they can send somebody on your behalf on Saturday to come get this food. So that's the importance of you calling your neighborhood community organization. There's ACER, there's CAPI, there's Immigration Defense Network. There's even that are helping in like we're having this at Discover Church. So even churches are supporting you guys. Call. There's Pueblos, Asamblea, the Alliance, and the list goes on of immigrant community organizations that are out here supporting the community. Please trust your local community organization. These are safe spaces who are going to protect you. The staff and the team are trained. they're well equipped, they're knowledgeable in ways to which to help you. And by calling them, again, if you come on Saturday and you want to get the information that's happening on Saturday, you want to be able to get the resources, calling these organizations and people to do it on your behalf and get it to you, right? Tell your neighbors, everybody that you know and you feel comfortable with, hey, this event is happening, Family Wellbeing Community Resource Day is happening. Please go and attend. And while you're there, pick up your that can't come.
Yeah, yeah. Well, folks, tonight we are discussing strengthening families in uncertain times, why community resource days matter. Saturday is going to be Family Wellbeing Community Resource Day, brought to you by the Minnesota Department of Children, Youth, and Families, Inner Circle, ASA, and as well as Medica. Shout out to Medica. It's a great insurance company, right? If you are looking for insurance through, your employer and stuff like that, through the healthcare market, Medica, they are great partners. Think about it. Medica is a great community partner. They're always supporting the community, and they're going to be tabling at the event as well. So we hope you can come and learn about all the things that are going on. Right, health insurance is one of the hottest topic, in the community. Screening. Like there are a lot of other resources that as Ms. B referenced earlier. There will be a lot of other resources there. A lot of other organizations. There's not only the food distribution. The food distribution is one piece. Discover Church, right? Maybe Discover Church. Shout out to the pastors. Shout out to the members of Discover Church. Shout out to Discover Church, right? They're giving all their space, and it's a safe space, right? We hope in the thing about it, right? The administration arrested a couple of activists going into a church, right, to make noise and stuff. So we hope. And that's what Ms. B, right? To Ms. B point, the church is a safe space. So come out. We don't think if the administration is taking that step, we hope that their ICE agent won't come and disturb anyone or try to arrest anyone or try to engage anyone. So it's going to be a safe space. And this event, man, I know sometimes in our community we like to be shot of a thug, right? The event is going to be families where they are. No judgment. We're not going to judge anyone because we know these times are hard. Times are really, really, really hard. You go to the grocery store, some of our kids it's like, as I said, I tell my kids every day, I'm praying for you guys to get out of high school, go to college, maybe when you guys are on college campuses, my pocket will rest a little bit, right? Because it's like food, when you go to the grocery store, right, food is expensive, folks, right? So it's like, there's no judgment. We are not, it's like these items that are being purchased fresh from the store, to the bags, and you can come and pick it up, stuff like that. So don't be shy. In our community, we like to be shy. Don't be shy. Come out. The state, the Department of Children, Youth, and Families saw the need. Medica saw the need. ASA saw the need. Inner Circle saw the need to do this. So come out. No judgment, folks. No judgment. If you are in need, come out. If you know your family, if you know your neighbors are in need, come out and support them. We beg you.
I was smiling because I was thinking about the fact that I'm trying to put us on a food budget. And we're only a household of 3. And we spend a lot of money on eating out. And so when you said that, this is free food, folks, come and get it. Groceries is so expensive, even for like a household of 3, like $400 you can't live off of $400 a month for groceries. I probably have to budget like $600 to $800, and that's like, wow.
Yeah. And the thing about it, groceries is the one difficult thing right now to even budget for, right? Because you go to the grocery store, right? You take a few items, the next minute it's $300. What?
Seriously?
$300, and then you have to do that maybe 3 to 4 times a month because the kids always in that refrigerator in the pantry, right? Every minute they're in the pantry, every minute they're in the refrigerator. So that is free food. And to my question here, I think you can use it. There are a lot of folks, who have that driver's license. They have not been, battled. You don't have to travel with your physical passport. Only a copy. We had a lawyer on here. We had 2 lawyers on here. Sometime last week they said you don't need to travel with your physical document. You can travel with copies of your document and your driver's license. Those should suffice. Those should do. They should not be arresting you with those documents, right? and then they are soft, right? It is in their system, right? They can verify you through their system.
Exactly.
Many occasions they have done that and they have released folks. So we should not, come out with a copy of your passport. Don't bring your original passport. Lawyers are not encouraging folks to travel with their original documents, right? But if you have copies of those, bring them out. Yeah. So again, folks, we encourage you, come out on Saturday. Family Wellbeing Community Resource Day, January 31st, Saturday, last Saturday in January. The time is from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. It is going to be a great event put on by the Minnesota Department of Children, Youth, and Families, Inner Cycle, ACER, Medica. Medica is sponsoring this event. It's going to be tabling at this event. We encourage you, men, to come out. It's going to be all community members are welcome. Grocery prices are high. Come and get good food. Come and get, food that will take you, for a little bit, right? That will kind of, reduce your stress. And if you know of people that are stuck in the house, they are afraid to come out, come out and help them. That's what this is about. And again, I want to echo Ms. B point. There are going to be other resources there. ACER will be there. ACER is a great community organization. They got a lot of resources. There people know so much that I must say I don't know. So the ACER folks, they are so knowledgeable about so many things. I didn't even know the Minnesota Senate was having a debate today about how to help businesses. I just saw it, right? I think Governor Tim Walz has declared at the end of February, a small business month to support community businesses, because obviously, right, a lot of businesses are going under. A lot of immigrant businesses are going under because folks are afraid, business owners are afraid to come out. And the other thing too, right, shout out to the 30 companies, right? Shout out to the 30 corporate companies that have donated up to $4 million as of today to the Minneapolis Foundation, right? To the Minneapolis Foundation. That money is going to be distributed to organizations that can help small businesses, in this time of need. Minnesota is a great state, right? You don't find these kind of initiatives in many other places, but our corporate leaders are coming together. Even though I'm disappointed, most of them, they are not speaking up because they are afraid of my man Donald Trump, because he's going to go after them. But
I was just going to say, did they list the 30? Did they share the list of the 30 corporations?
Yeah, Blue Cross Blue Shield is one of them, contributed to that. United Health, about 30. More companies are showing up in the United Health, General Mills, other companies. And then the former mayor of Minneapolis, R.T. Ryback, he's the head of the Minneapolis Foundation.
Yeah.
He said there are more
president of the Minneapolis Foundation.
Yeah, he said more companies are going to contribute, so that's hopeful, right? And especially, the reason why maybe we'll do a segment on this, right? Because a lot of our businesses don't reach out to folks like you, ACER, or to Cappy, you guys that are really involved in the community, because you guys have knowledge, or sometimes you guys get hold of these information, and your small business in the community don't know. And guess where it end up? See our little web business because they want to know the information, so it end up in their hands, right? But that's what we are here for. That's what Inner Cycle Podcast is here for, to bring information to you, and hopefully maybe Ms. B can amplify that. Maybe you might know more about that stuff, but I just heard it. I've been hearing it when I do this.
I know it's out. They emailed us to say that it was since January 27th. They announced it on Tuesday that they had raised 3.5, and now it's at 4.
Yeah, it's at 4. Yeah.
And they said in the next several days. So hopefully by tomorrow, they will have a way for folks to be able to access those resources. Maybe they'll either stay with organizations or maybe they'll be able to disperse it themselves within. Oftentimes, Minneapolis Foundation don't disperse money themselves. So maybe just by Friday, they will figure out who they're going to give the money to.
What I hear, they're not going to directly give it to those small businesses. They're going to come to organization like, for example, ACER, for example, Cappy, right? Organizations that are active in the community, that know these small businesses, that know these businesses, and the businesses are suffering, actually, right? A lot of small businesses are suffering. Folks are not coming out. Folks are afraid to leave their homes. So, they're going to partner with community organizations to be able to, do the work. I don't know where OM for in our picture, right? I've been behind my man Kamadi Dian to come here and tell the folks what is OM up to. They've been sending robocall all day People don't know what you're doing. Just in the robocall all day. Oh, ISIS here, ISIS here. Who cares? Okay, robocall is not going to do the work, right? It's like stop doing robocall to reach out to your community. There's a time to rally your community, and they are not doing it. You're right. They are not doing it. Shout out, man. Shout out to my guy, Honorable Huda Hisley for. I mean, the event that event was lit, right? It's gone. It has gone viral. And thing with the in partnership with Cycle Podcast. I mean, everyone is talking about it. We have gotten great feedback. People from all over the country are saying, wow, you guys really did a good job. You know, I mean, we are thankful that that whole initiative helped the community. Those are the things, you know, maybe O&M should be partnering with Inner Circle Podcast to be doing for the community. But
Yeah.
our leaders are in hiding right now. You know, where is Kamati? Where's O&M when you need them?
You know, I don't know where Kamati is, but I'm sure he's out there doing his part. As always, they try.
Okay.
You know, that's why it takes a lot of us, and it's not just one person. It has to be a whole collaborative effort, a coordination effort between all of us community organizations to get the information out. And that's why we're doing this tonight, right? To get the information out and get people out in the community. Um, if you feel safe, if you feel comfortable, please do come out on Saturday. And besides coming out on Saturday, like I said, show up for your community members. Show up for those that are in fear right now, living in fear. Show up for those who are not feeling safe and they're sheltering in place. Show up for them on Saturday, this Saturday, January 31st, from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Discover Church. That's in Brooklyn Park, 1400 First Avenue North in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. You know, show up to get food, to be able to go and give out to people. If you need the food yourself, definitely show up to collect some food. And if not only for yourself, you and your neighbors as well, because we know the need out there is huge. What is some of the food that's packaged? Do you know?
Man, there's so many varieties. You know, there are some of our African varieties. So many varieties, man. It's like so just come up. So many varieties. Fresh from the store. I mean, there's gonna be so many varieties. That's all I can say, right? Is that there's gonna be some great food, and we kind of
Bread, eggs, cheese.
exactly right, and we kind of trying to meet the community where they are, right? Especially our African immigrant community, right? We know what they like, and we are all suffering, right? It's not only about they didn't only come here to hunt Somalians and Latinos, but they came to hunt all of us, right? So we know what our African folks like, our African immigrant community like. So we have a lot of those goodies. And for the entire community, man, whoever that is feeling food insecure, to our Latino brothers and sisters, whoever that is feeling food insecure, come on Saturday. It's a one-day event, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. as Ms. B said. It's going to be a lot of food there. Come and grab a bag for you and your family. And so also as it's a safe space for mental health, physical health, economic stability, that social connection. Come and get that social connection, right? Because I don't think folks are even going to clubs anymore with the old high school. So this is where you might meet, someone you have not seen in like the last 2 months, right? Because Minnesota, we have all been sheltered in place, basically. That's right. So it's a safe environment, so come out for that social connection.
Yeah, I know the businesses, nightclubs are reaching out, asking for resources as well. And it's unfortunate because I feel sorry for them. They are not the type of business that people readily want to support, right? But they serve a purpose in the community, and they are an entity that hire people. They have staff. They are an entity that pays taxes, and they are a place that addresses people well-being. It's a place people want to go and have fun. It's an entertainment spot, and so I do feel sorry for people that are in that industry who, when there are times like these, they do get the resources that other everyday businesses get. So yeah, um, you know, nightclub owners, I see you, I hear you. Um, we have technical assistance right now. Hopefully, some more business resources will come through to be able to address the fact that you guys are probably shut down or reduced hours, and no traffic right now as well. But what
Yes.
you and your employees can come down Saturday to the Family Wellbeing Community Resource Day if you're a nightclub or entertainer owner, and help distribute.
Yep, definitely. The communities in the end, like to your point about the nightclubs or the entertainment centers, it's like COVID 2.0 for them. I mean, for them again, right? It's like COVID
Yeah.
2.0 because right now they are basically shut down, and those entertainment centers and nightclubs they are very important in the African immigrant community, especially in the Liberian community. I mean, if you don't have folks going to Jumbo to release themselves or to proper rules, to reduce their stress and we work hard. I mean,
Free.
even though they are labeling immigrants as criminals and illegal aliens and blah blah blah, immigrants work hard, right? They just want to contribute, and we contribute to the economy through this kind of effort. Right? We work hard, we party hard, right? And you know, so yeah, so obviously, I mean, the pain of the entertainment industry in our community, is being felt. But again, if you are one of those employees or owners, bring your folks out to the Family Wellbeing Community Resource Day, on Saturday, January 31st, 2026, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Discover Church, right off of 252 in Broken Park. There, come. It's a social connection. The power of community connection. That's just going to be right. The power of community connection, where the communities going to come together. We don't have all the solutions, right? We don't even have like tons of food, like maybe a whole, like like it's just an event from 12 to 4. Right? We have enough food, obviously, to distribute to the community. This way, you can come and get more resources, get more information, see what is going on, right? Sometimes everything you're hearing on the news, come and fellowship with with folks in the community that will give you more of the things maybe that hopefully I think I look at this whole immigration crackdown, immigration raid, metro search as an opportunity for the immigrant community. I think we'll come out of this stronger. It is attacking us, it is hitting us hard right now, but I strongly believe we'll come out of it stronger because folks are beginning to realize, but wait, what? What are you doing, right? What are you doing to this community? You are hurting it. You are not only hurting them, but you are hurting all of us, right? The Census Bureau came out with their latest, data on the number of people that are in this country. It's 340 million as of this year, as of last week.
Decrease?
Yeah, because of the immigration crackdown, right? It's like it's the entire everyone, including illegals, including the 14 million illegals, including natural.
340 million. What happened to 37 million people, Abraham?
Go ask my mentor. He'll tell you what happened to them.
No.
Go check the latest census data. That's what it says, right? It's like it came out and it said 300.
People must have moved.
People, well, whether it's self-deportation, whether folks are leaving, but any number I mentioned on the Inner Circle podcast,
341.
Yeah, any number I mentioned on the Inner Circle podcast, right? I would not share fake news here, right? We share, just
maybe it was 337, and I thought maybe it was 377. Maybe it was 337 because it said the population grew by less than half a percentage point.
Yeah, 341, and it's not growing up, right? And it's going to impact jobs, right? There's no one. What the administration have done, they have stopped legal and they have even pathways to legal immigration. They have stopped those, right? So folks are not coming to America, and a lot of other folks, right? Even those that can afford to come to America, they have just decided not to bother because of the current climate, the current environment, and folks who have the resources that feel like, what, right now I don't need to be here. I can go somewhere else and live my life in peace. Someone don't have to stop me in the middle of the street to ask me for my document and things like that. Folks are making those choices. So, but the point I was trying to make, right? Immigrants are still needed in this country. Immigrants are very important in this country. So I think, right, immigrants are going to come out of this situation stronger than we were before.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is, think about how many celebrities don't even live in this country anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Every time I hear somebody moving to Italy, Jay-Z and Beyonce are building this mega mansion in the UK, moving to United Kingdom. Yeah.
And here the most famous African celebrity right now. I know it's I Show Speed or something, whoever her name is.
I know. I just was
I hear he has gotten a Ghanaian citizenship. It's good to get a Ghanaian passport.
everybody getting citizenship. I need to get.
Okay, folks. Well,
But I hear our president wants to get rid of dual citizenship, anyways.
maybe at least thank God some of us got it now, so we don't want to.
Trump said you're gonna have to pick a country.
Hey, I'm an American. You know, it's up to you guys who want to be in between, right? It's like I'm an American, right? It's like
You know how many Canadians have dual citizenship?
my loyalty is to this country. Well,
That population of 341 is about to really drop.
Yeah. Well, anyway, folks, it's been a great conversation. This is a 1 hour show. Always appreciate my co-host, Ms. B, doing this, right? Helping the community. But again, shout out to the Minnesota Department of Children, Youth, and Families. Shout out to Medica. Shout out to ISA. And shout out to all the members of Inner Cycle. You guys are doing a great job to, get this event going. The planning committee, everyone involved, want to thank you for getting this done for the community. It's a good event. Medica will be tabling at this event. Minnesota Department of Children, Youth, and Families, you guys are doing great work for this great state. ISA, you guys are doing great work for the great state. For Inner Cycle, it's a baby that is just, coming up there trying to, make some waves in the community as well. But this day, tomorrow, on Saturday, actually, 12 p.m., 4 p.m., Discover Church, 1400 81st Avenue North, Broken Park, Minnesota, 55444. It's right off of 252, so I hope we all can come up. Ms. B, any last word for the community and last word to all the folks out there? We know that a lot of need in the community. Folks are suffering. We recognize that, and that's why we are all coming together as partners to do this.
For everybody that's been looking for me and you haven't been able to get a hold of me this week, if you want to see me, come see me on Saturday. This is where I'll be.
Yeah. Again, shout out to the Minnesota Department of Children, Youth, and Families, to ISA, to Medica, and to Inner Cycle, to all the members of Inner Cycle, the planning committee, everyone that's working to make this a success. So thank you so much, folks, and we'll see you on Saturday at this food distribution. Thank you all, and you all have a good night.